Engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Welcome to the 3-1.
Oh man, that was a process.
Hey man, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
That's just awesome. I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here.
You're like so chipper right now, and it makes me really happy. Oh my god.
Nothing.
Oh my god.
I'm giddy.
This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
What's up? Hopefully this goes well. But you can probably see us right now, and if so, this will be the first time you can see us. Cheers to that. Take a sip of whatever you're drinking at the moment.
My drink is so far away.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, welcome to the 3-1 podcast. If you're new, first time listening, we are a podcast. Typically, there's more than just... Okay, explain this first. We are the host. This is our wonderful guest, Avera.
Hi.
Avera is amazing. We'll get to her in a second. This whole episode's about her. Right now, it's about me.
Cancel. Like, the whole episode needs to be thrown out. It's about
Done.
me.
But anyway, back to me. This is a podcast where we have, like, as authentic as possible conversations with fellow Catholics, where we get to share our lives, our faith, and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. We're happy to have Avera today. Yeah. We're missing our other co-host. They didn't want to show up, apparently. Fine, whatever.
Fine.
They're going to get mad about that.
That's a total true story, but
not at all. So we're glad you're listening. If you're watching, we're glad you're watching. Mm-hmm. Please do all the things like subscribing and stuff. I always feel awkward saying that,
Yeah,
but you should do it.
What is it? Click the bell notification to get notified every time they post a new video.
Yeah.
right.
I watch
right here.
way too much YouTube.
Right here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Click them. They're here somewhere.
Click in the general vicinity.
Yeah.
Like,
Give us a thumbs up. If you thumbs down, then you're a thumbs down. Mm-hmm. Just kidding. Anyway.
How harsh.
I know. Vera, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is awesome.
This is 4 years in the making.
Really?
Basically. Yeah, we looked at
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. 3 years. So we were scrolling back through Blake's Instagrams to see like what was the first picture that I liked of his, like trying to figure out like when we actually like became friends. I think it was like in the summer of 2018. So this is the first time. Yesterday was the first time that we met in person in 3 years. So yeah, this is awesome.
So how did y'all get in touch exactly?
Catholic
art.
Twitter.
Yep, Catholic Twitter.
Before it became problematic.
Okay.
So, or like in the midst of like before it became as problematic as it is now.
Yeah.
Blake asked me yesterday. He was like, "Why did you get off Catholic Twitter?" And I literally could not remember. It's just one day I just like stopped.
Yeah.
And I just forgot that it was a thing. And I was just kind of focusing my attention elsewhere.
Yeah.
And didn't realize like people thought I was like dead, or like they thought that I had like left the faith or something like that. That like my faith had come like crumbling down, and I was just like, you know what, I'm over it.
Which shows the state of Catholic Twitter that they think they're so important that if you don't talk to them, then you're dead or you've lost your faith. But anyway, so yeah, I've almost abandoned like social media so many times, and there's like always like something that pops up that's like, this is why I've stayed. Mm-hmm. And so thank you if you've ever been one of those posts that's kept me there. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's a good thing.
You know, I focus my attention more so on Instagram now, only because I really like taking pictures.
There we go.
So like, I feel like I get to like mini blog in Instagram, and it's so much fun, and I feel like it's a lot less stressful than having like full blown like threads on Twitter. Like, like that was fun to do. It was just
true.
like, oh yeah, this is a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many people are actually reading this entire thing.
I like it.
No.
I like it.
You know.
Random thought I'm having just now, unrelated completely. We're definitely going to need a softer light bulb there. That's really bright.
I have an idea.
I like the Saint light.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I do. I like the Saint light. It's giving you a nice little halo.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
I promise you, he really is that holy. Well, he's working on it at least. Put a really a lot of pressure on you now.
I know.
Right.
But anyway,
Thanks.
so Avera, tell us a little bit about you. We want to hear about you and your story, what you do. I don't know, social security number,
Okay.
credit card information,
I don't
all
even know
of
if
it.
I know that. So, so my name is Avera, as far as you know, and my
Can we get the full name for the so people can?
Avera Maria Santo is
Yes.
the full name. Follow me on Instagram. So I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, which I like to reiterate to people, especially now that I live in Louisiana, that Mobile started Mardi Gras. And people get real bent out of shape when I say that. And I'm just like, you know what? Cry about it. Because we started it. Now, y'all might have perfected it in New Orleans. But we gave y'all something to perfect. If y'all didn't have the foundation, like, that would be it for y'all.
There you go.
Again, and they don't even celebrate Joe Cane Day. So we have Joe Cane Day, Lundi Gras, and Mardi Gras. So whatever. But I am from the birthplace of Mardi Gras. I'm from Mobile. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana now. I'm a junior at Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady University, which is, I think, the only Franciscan Catholic school in the South, in this region.
Wow.
I am a part of the theology program, and there's currently, I think, 8 of us in the entire school. And I am the only lay woman in the program right now, and I'm also the only junior. So I'll be graduating by myself. That's if I walk across the stage. Like, low key, I feel so bad for my mother. I do not want to walk. Like, I mail me my diploma. Because I just don't feel like
That
going.
sounds pretty familiar.
I was in the same boat. I just graduated in May, and
Yeah.
I did not want to walk.
I just
And
didn't. I was like,
on top of that, with all the like COVID restrictions, it was
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
And I was like,
my sister graduated high school, and she was outside, and hers was in like July
Yeah.
in Mobile, Alabama. So,
yeah. So like, okay, yeah. So we're all from the South. Like, you know, we're in
Yeah.
Southeast Texas right here, and shout out. But so it's hot. It's humid.
Yes.
We did it on like a turf football field.
since they did the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I was terrified, but luckily, the weather ended up being like really nice. It was
yeah.
supposed to rain, and it never did, so it was like overcast,
yes.
a little bit of a breeze. So it ended up being perfect.
Yeah.
But I really didn't want to walk,
Yeah.
but I
Man,
did.
The turf field, and two, the thing about turf, because I played soccer on the same field that we had that ceremony in. Like, if it's hot enough on a turf field, you can see
You can
the
see
heat
heat
rising. Like, you could just, it's
Yes.
so, you feel like you're baking.
So
Yeah.
turf football fields, especially in this area, okay, it'll get close to 100 degrees
Yeah.
or over 100 degrees some days in the summer down here. On a turf football field, it's typically 10 degrees higher
Yes.
on the field
Yes.
than it is anywhere else. So
Baked rubber,
if it's
baked.
95,
Exactly.
if it's 95 everywhere else on that field, you can bring out a little thermometer and it will say 105, 100%, and you feel every bit of that.
It's an
105
easy
degrees.
bake oven football edition, honestly.
Absolutely.
Like,
So those guys playing like that, warriors.
yeah.
Just saying.
So yeah, like I loved growing up in Mobile. It was a good environment. I went to McGill Tulane Catholic High School, Go Jackets, where I graduated from, and then I went to the University of South Alabama for a year. I went to Bishop State Community College for a semester, dropped out for a semester, went back for a year, dropped out for 2 more years.
Yes.
And now I came to Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady because #COVID. So because COVID knocked me out of work. So I was on the phone with a friend of mine. I don't know if y'all know him. His name is Father Joshua Johnson. So
Slight flex here.
so I was on the phone
Just
with
a
him.
slight one.
I'm on the phone and we're talking, and I told him like a family friend of ours had told me the night before that I should consider going back to school, and I was telling him about it, and he was like, "You should just apply to FRANU because that's what the moniker for the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady," and I was like. But, like, I do not want to go to Steubenville. Like, I'm older than them. Like, I'm past college age. Like, Ohio is so far away. It gets cold. I've seen snow 3 times in my life, and that was fine for me. And he was like, what do you mean Steubenville? I'm not talking about Steubenville. I'm talking about FRANU in Baton Rouge. And I was like, what? Like, I had never heard of the school. So it's predominantly a nursing school. But so the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady, the order, founded Our Lady of the Lake College after Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, where they all work. So they've been training the nurses that work at the hospital since they founded the school in 1923. So I'm projected to graduate on the centennial year, so in 2023. So I'm super excited about that. That's if I make it. Like if I make it by then. But yeah, I'm a junior there. I'm really enjoying the program. My teachers are fantastic. Yeah. Right now I think I told you about this last night, but I almost got into a fight at a friend's wedding in the parking lot at the reception because we were trying to figure out like the idea of the dormition, like if Mary died or not. And I'm of the mind that she didn't, because she didn't have to, because she didn't sin. She never sinned. So she didn't have to pay the price for her sin, which is human death, right? So obviously she didn't have to die. So the idea of the dormition is that she fell asleep and then was assumed carried body and soul into heaven. But another one of my friends who's about to graduate this year, who's a lot smarter than me, is very much so of the idea that Mary did die. So I almost got into a fight in the parking lot with my good buddy Daniel, who I love so much.
So Daniel, if you're listening,
so square up, Daniel.
She's calling you out again. Just be ready.
Yeah, he just texted me to square up the other day, and I was like, I'm in Texas, bro. Like, I can't right now. When I get
He's not that far. Come on.
He's not that far. I'm 3 hours
I'd love to meet
away.
you.
He's growing on a man bun right now.
Our
now he's
former
doing
co-host
like
had a man bun.
Yes. So he's
Now
doing like a half up, half down thing right now, which I'm really digging.
Kind of like Chris Hemsworth's Thor, kind of half up, half down, or is it like
Thor keeps coming up in conversation?
He does. We've been rewatching the
He's
Marvel.
a beautiful man.
We've been rewatching the Marvel movies, so Thor's on my mind a little bit.
I love it. I'm still on. Like,
that does not make me a pagan.
I'm so far behind.
Like the movies.
Yeah. I'm so far behind on the movies. Like, I don't think I've seen Civil War yet, but Wakanda Forever, that's the one I did catch up on. So
you need to watch Civil War.
I know, I need to.
That introduces Black Panther.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like I'm gonna be stressed out the entire time because, like, I love Black Widow's character, and then I also love Scarlet Witch's character. Like, I think they're fascinating.
Yeah.
So the fact that aren't they on like opposing sides?
I guess you'll just have to see.
I feel like I'd just be stressed out the entire time.
Y'all have no. See, look, I'm so excited I can't even talk. Y'all have no idea. Oh my gosh, how excited I am that we're talking about superheroes right now.
I'm fascinated by just like the whole idea of just like the Marvel universe.
Superhero. I don't know. Can you see that on camera? I don't know.
Pope John Paul II.
Pope JP2, Marvel comic.
The fact that they did that is like shocking.
Yeah, I gotta get the other two Marvel Saint comics if they've got.
Who they should do? Joan of Arc.
They should.
Maid of Orleans. So
they did this during a time where I feel like they were more open to it. Nowadays, I don't know if it'll actually happen.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like saint statues all around the world now. Like, she's still up in France, and there's a statue of her in downtown Baton Rouge by the not Baton Rouge, New Orleans, by the French Quarter.
Yep. It's a beautiful statue too.
It's so good. I took a picture in front of it a few weeks ago.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram.
Okay, well, you mentioned work.
I did.
You said you were out of work.
Mm-hmm.
What were you doing that COVID caused you to no longer be able to do said
So
things?
I had been public speaking at that point for I think 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. I think I started in 2018. So yeah, I went around the country. Like, I've gone as far as like Rhode Island, Bismarck, North Dakota. That was super fun. That was one of the times that I saw snow.
I have a question about
California.
Rhode Island.
Yes.
How small is Rhode Island?
Very. Okay, so like
I know
very.
that was
it's
coming.
so small. It's got to the point where so I lived in like a big city in Mobile, right?
Sure.
So I had friends that would live like across the bay. So like Fairhope, Daphne, Spanish Fort, like all those places, Gulf Shores even. So like all the beaches and everything. So I would literally just go and drive to Fairhope or like Pensacola and be like, it'll be an hour-and-a-half trip because I had friends there, but it would not faze me at all. In Rhode Island, like if it's 15 minutes away, it's too far. And that freaks me out Like, honestly, that something is that close to you.
Sure.
That, like, and also all the houses are, like, super narrow and, like, they're, like, up against each other. Kind of like they are in New Orleans, actually. How they're just, like, those like,
So
those really
everything's just,
narrow
like...
houses. It's very much so just...
Because I ran out of room.
There was one joke. Y'all follow, like, dry bar comedy?
No.
So it's just, like, it's just comedy that's not like super like outlandish or whatnot, but literally one guy was like, I know that the United States was colonized what is it, from west, what is it, east to west, from
east to west.
Yeah, it was colonized from east to west, but what it looks like is they just gave some random dude and like a frame of the United States and was just like, separate this into 50 separate pieces, and he was just like, oh, I'll have plenty of room. And then he just like started compensating the further he got. 48. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That was
two of them
the school system failing me right there. So he really didn't have room. He ran out.
I mean, hey, Catholic school got you there, huh?
Let's not talk about it.
No. Shout out to my Catholic school kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay, so Rhode Island, whenever I think of Rhode Island, I'll be honest with you, I feel like, so it's so small.
It is.
All I can think of is like a single road going through like this tiny little island and like everything packed together.
Yeah. So there's places in Alabama like that. My friend.
Leave it to Texans to make fun of other states.
Yeah. He lives in a place I think called Eclectic, Alabama. They have one stoplight. And I think like they have like one Walmart or something. And he lives in like a 2-story log cabin house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So literally, it's really beautiful, but
Sure.
I was just like, I could spit from one side of the city to the other. So.
Well, I'm sorry I distracted you because I'm very...
Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
So, yes. So you were speaking. You were going to Rhode Island.
Yeah,
And
I was. So I really enjoyed it, and I still do it now that COVID restrictions are starting to lift, and I'm able to go to different places. I think I'm going to Yorkville, Illinois, in November, and I think I'm doing like a few things here and there, and I've been traveling around Louisiana a bunch as well.
Cool.
I'm just getting to know like the places and the people that I'm ministering to more closely because I live there now. So it's been a really, really powerful and really beautiful experience. And I'm excited for things to like start back up again. My agent and I have been talking about just how I've been itching to get back on the road. Like I miss flying in planes. Like I miss just like being in the airport and being stuck somewhere for 3 hours and then finding like those little like niche like either like coffee shops or like barbecue places or like any of that stuff. It's just so fascinating to just be in a place where all those people are like gathering and have things to do and places to go and people to see.
So
it's so fun.
What got you started, like, in the whole speaking world?
Yeah, so it was very much something that I was, I kind of fell into accidentally, I will say. Of course, it was very providential, but a friend of mine, he was giving a talk at a high school where there was a little bit of trouble and controversy going on. So a little bit of backstory. At this school, about 2 weeks prior to him being there, there was a woman who got quote-unquote married to her same-sex partner that was working at the school. And because she signed a morality clause saying that she would follow Catholic Church teaching while she was contracted with the school, she was fired. And there were people that were up in arms about it, faculty, staff, like students, just really, really upset that this teacher was fired because she was well beloved at the school, and probably rightly so. She's probably a very good person. So Deacon Harold comes there for something unrelated. It's like giving a talk. He was already scheduled to come. But I think he did like a Q&A session or something afterwards. And someone asked him about it. You know, it was basically like, okay, the church says this, but who actually believes that? You know, like who is actually going to like live by those teachings? Like they're so harsh, they're so old, you know, like just throw them out. Like who actually believes that? So he tells me, he pulls out his phone, Googles an article that I had written on this very topic, and
which I remember that making around. That was right after we met.
Right, exactly. And he reads it aloud. And one of the the teens, I think, who asked the question was just like, I think he told me that she was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that anybody actually believed that. And a bunch of people actually got up and walked out after that. But he told me this recently, actually, over dinner, the last time I saw him. He was like, before I left, there was a girl who literally got out of class, like had a signed slip to get out of class. And she found me in the hallway right before I left. And she was like, I just want to thank you for reading what that girl said. Because I'd never heard of anybody like living like that, like living chastity and actually being happy about it. It was something that I had never been exposed to before. So I just want to thank you for sharing that. And then I don't think he ever saw her again. He just like went back. She went back to class. So he called me after that, almost immediately after he got out, and he was like, "You're one of the only ones doing this. Like, you have got to start speaking about it." So I think my first gig was to UAB, the Catholic Student Center at UAB, St. Stephen's, and then I just started traveling all over the place from there. And it's been super, super exciting and so fun. And there's definitely like a lot of pushback, you know, in some places, like online especially. Like I just talked about like me finding that entire hate page on Reddit, which was super funny. But yeah, like other than that, it's been incredible. So I've loved every single second of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the article making the rounds, and that was a fun time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it was something that I just was not expecting at all. Like I think when it got, or the one that I think I'm talking about, like National Catholic Register picked it up, LifeSite News picked it up. Like there was all these people like sharing it. Like it would be, I was trying to respond to everybody, so I would be like on my laptop for hours responding to people.
You still have a link to that article?
I'd have to sift through and find it because it's an old one. It's one of the ones probably from 2018 or like early 2019. So I would have to look for it.
Okay, if you find it, we might link it.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can find it, for sure.
Sure.
So like real quick, it kind of sounded like, I guess, after you got that call and then he's like, you have to start speaking about this.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that process? Did you kind of like have to pray about it really, or was it just kind of like?
It was very just like that.
That's what it sounded like.
So like, I think one day, so Deacon Harold, he's not with this agency anymore. But Deacon Harold's, the guy who ran the speaking agency that Deacon Harold was signed to, ended up calling me and just kind of talking about it with me. That guy was Jerry Usher, I think, who started Catholic Answers.
Okay.
So he's still a very good friend. I'm also not with the agency anymore, as the agency has closed. But I'm still with the same agent that I was with when I was with their Millennium. So Nick Scott, he's been incredible. Anytime anybody's like, we want to have her out, and I send them to Nick, there's nothing but phenomenal responses from talking with him, because he's very much so a dad. Yeah. You know, like he tries to like really like sell me, you know, to people, but at the same time, the only reason I was so comfortable staying with him is because like I knew he was not only somebody that believed in my message, you know, he's a convert, so he has very much so like that convert fire, you know, but he's also he's someone who also believes in me and my message in particular. And I know like how hard he pushes is because he knows that there's good in me that I can share with other people. Absolutely. So, and I was like, I just don't feel like trying to find someone else to try and build that relationship when I've had it with him for so long. Yeah, he's so good.
Well, we're going to get right back to all this here in just a second. First, I'm so excited about this. I'm about to butcher this, but we're going to do it anyway. Now. So we've been hyping up these sponsorships for so long. Yes. This is our first episode where we actually are like, it's a sponsored episode. We have 2 companies we've partnered with. So I'm going to start with the first one, and there will be a discount code with this one that is coming. I don't believe it's made yet, so this episode's more of an announcement for our partnership with them. But our next episode will have all that set up, ready to go. Check out our social media, and you'll be able to follow along with that. But, drum roll, please, Mr. Drummer.
Oh, he's the drummer.
No, you're welcome to join in. Please do. Come on. We enjoyed it. All right, Corda Candles. Thank you, Corda, for sponsoring us. Anna at Corda does a great job. She makes these beautiful candles by hand. It's a beautiful Catholic company, and they're all based around the lives of saints and like different forms of prayer, different parts of the faith. She spends a lot of time, researching, preparing, and like praying on these scents, these fragrances to help kind of encourage prayer in our lives. So today we are burning Valor and Grace, which is based on the life of Saint Joan of Arc. Now you said yes. Would you like to maybe give a little information about Saint Joan of Arc? And
Yeah,
who
so
she is?
Saint Joan of Arc was a young girl actually who it's so funny. I love telling the story. France has like sucked it up in every war they have ever fought in, besides the one where she led the cavalry. So the only time that France has ever won a war is when a 17-year-old girl was leading the way. So I love like that just backstory about her, that I mean, really, it only takes someone believing and trusting that God will provide.
Sure.
And like she was a martyr. She was martyred for her faith, burned at the stake, even at that. And even while she's burning alive, I believe her last words were she asked a priest to raise the cross above the flames so that she may look at it as she died. So a model of true valor and grace. So that's perfectly named.
Yes. Yeah. It smells absolutely incredible.
It's so good.
It smells so good. And so I would like to just encourage you to go to her page. It's Corda Candles. Give her a follow. I think she does blog posts. You can get on her email list. She posts things all the time. She's always bringing in new candles. It's wonderful. I think this specific candle has a 45-hour burn time, which is like amazing.
Yeah.
So it looks really small.
Yeah.
But it'll last forever. I've got one. It's the St. Michael candle, and I keep it like burning all the time. And yeah. So anyway, we love Quarter Candles. Just go get you one.
Yeah, I follow.
Wait till our discount code, but go get you one.
You one.
You don't have to wait. You can go and buy one now. But anyway, we have another sponsor for this episode. We've partnered with an app that I'm so excited about this. Like, honestly, I don't know if we were ready to partner with them, but you know what? We partnered with them anyway, and I'm excited. So I'm excited to announce officially. I'm sure I think we actually already announced it, but Hallow, the Catholic audio guided prayer app, has partnered with us. So I'm a new Hallow subscriber. Started using their app. It's beautiful. All the different things they have. Brittany, which is our Jamie for the podcast, has been using it a little bit longer than I have. What are your thoughts, Brittany?
They have a lot of different, like you can listen to Bible stories. I mean, there's a lot of famous people that have in the Catholic community that have partnered with Hallow. Like you can listen to Father Mike Schmidt. You can listen to tons of people on there. And I personally love the Liturgy of the Hours. I fall asleep to their night prayer recording almost every night because I really struggle with falling asleep. So you can listen to the Rosary, Divine Chaplet. I mean, there's so many different things that you can utilize for your faith, and I absolutely love it.
The night story is really nice. They've got music, Gregorian chant, all kinds of stuff. Jonathan Rumi from the Chosen series is on there, which is really cool.
What's his name? David, what's his name from Wizards of Waverly Place?
Henry?
Yes,
David
Henry.
Yes,
I think
he
just did one of the Gospels, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
I can't remember.
He's a very devout Catholic.
Yeah,
Shout out David. Come to the podcast.
The little video of him revealing that, like, the painting of Our Lady of Guadalupe that he got, and she got so excited.
Yeah.
That was so
like,
cute.
I thought I was going to die right then and there. So.
That was very cute.
Well, we're really excited to partner with Hallow. So if you use our code or use our link, it's hallow.com/3 and then ONE. So 3 ONE spelt out. If you utilize that. Oh no.
It's okay. We're still rolling.
Well, that's cool. Awesome. Well, if
our
you
lights just went out.
If you utilize that,
is our candle.
The light of the Lord. Hey, we're still going. So.
Cool. Well, if you utilize that, you get to. Oh man, that really kind of killed my vibe there. You get 30 days free.
It's just the devil.
Yeah, it's just the devil trying to be a punk.
You get 30 days free trial. So cool. We're gonna take a short break and see what happened here. And then go from there. Thank you. Go ahead and pause it.
All right.
All right. Wow. Well,
What a day.
that was interesting. Oh man. So 30 minutes into the podcast, well, I guess it'd be 30 something with our theme song. The power went out in the whole street in pretty much half the city.
Yeah.
And so we're back after a few hour hiatus. We have had some stress food.
And beer.
I had a stress beer. Thank you, Buxton Brewery. And now we're good. We're back in the studio, and we're gonna finish this thing.
Yeah, we are.
We're look, it's been a good day. I think that the break was nice because I'm kind of rejuvenated for like more
For sure.
conversation, but also like we kept saying that, you know, like this is just the devil attacking and stuff like that, and I don't know, it gave us a little bit more of an opportunity to just kind of sit down and like be together, which was nice, and have good conversations. So y'all missed all that.
Missed the
Yeah.
dog TikTok.
We missed,
and
yes.
SpongeBob reference
Yes.
and
A
Family
lot
Feud.
of really healthy SpongeBob references.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were healthy.
Waiter!
So that
What a high quality movie.
talked a lot about The Office.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yes.
Loved.
So.
Yes. So, go to our Hallow link if we didn't finish that. I don't know. Yeah, and it's great. Oh man, I'm still a little frustrated about.
Yeah.
We're midway through there,
Yeah.
so hopefully I'll be able to salvage that part.
For sure.
But yes, thank you, sponsors.
Yeah.
We love you. You're doing great things.
You are doing great things. I literally followed
Corda?
Corda immediately.
I was told to spell it out. It's CORDA. Corda. And so, anyway.
In case there was any confusion.
Yes.
It could have been with a K.
Every quarter, but wait, no, that would get confusing. I'm not gonna start singing like Corda starts with K.
Okay.
That could be it. That could be
Every
confusing.
quarter begins with C.
Yes. Thank you.
Of
Thank you.
course.
Thank you.
Somebody had to sing in that moment.
Yes. So before we get back into the interview, how are y'all feeling now? Is everyone like feeling
Sweaty.
knees weak,
Little
arms
warmer.
heavy?
Little warmer.
Yeah.
There's vomit on my sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
Really?
He's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs.
This is an
but
NF song, isn't it?
No, it's actually an Eminem song.
Oh, is it really? You listen to how unlearned I sound.
No,
I
it's
don't
okay.
listen to a lot of Eminem, so.
Neither do I. That's one thing I know.
That's the one line.
I know one.
I just know the dog meme where it's like master's home, hair spaghetti. And the dog has like spaghetti noodles on his head. That's like my favorite. That's the only thing I know about that song. Master's home, hair spaghetti.
This
Anywho.
where?
It's a meme.
It's a meme.
It's a meme. So there's these things on the internet that are like funny images. Call them memes.
Or memes.
Oh, you got
are
jokes.
Unlearned like my mother. So.
Memes?
Memes.
Okay, is it GIF or GIF?
GIF.
Jif.
Thank you.
I literally saw a video where the guy who created
GIF.
them
Called them GIF?
called them GIFs.
Now, why he didn't spell it with a J, I don't know.
That's a great question. But I mean, like,
But
letter G can sound
it can.
multiple.
I can understand, though, he could have avoided a lot of confusion.
Yeah.
Unless it is short for something. And
Yeah. Although I will say, if we're just going to talk about how the English language ruins words, like English is one. I've heard that English is one of the most difficult languages to learn because there's so many.
Well,
just
look
like rules, like the I before E except after C only applies to like 35 words.
Yeah.
And less pronounced A as in neighbor and way.
Way.
But let's not forget, like, so there's there, and there. I mean, like, it's just like we have all these things that are like repeating and like it's just a spelling difference. But like, if you're trying to learn it, especially by ear, and it's like we don't pronounce them any different. It's
Yeah, very true.
two.
They're
Anyway.
there and they are there. And if you're from the South, like we slur everything.
That makes it
Because
worse.
it's so hot down here. Like,
Yeah. Look, we don't want to spend the time like pronunciating.
Yeah, no, like we don't have
Pronunciate?
time or energy
Is it
pronouncing.
Pronouncing.
Is it pronouncing? I'm looking at Brittany because she looks like she might know.
I don't. I just work here.
Sorry, I'm just trying to do my job.
Look, I just worked the soundboard, okay?
Well, you know what? We're happy to have you back in studio. We're glad we could finish the episode as intended.
Absolutely.
Oh, my light's not on. Let me turn that back on.
Yes.
Cathedral in a
It's
statue.
so cute.
So like
It's
a little-
so nice.
Yeah, I got my little crucifix in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we left off with Avera.
Yeah, well, yes.
Something. I
So-
feel like you had asked me something.
You definitely answered that one, and then we went into our ads.
We went into our ads, so we need to
Okay.
pick back up with.
Yeah.
So we've kind of, I wouldn't say danced around it, but we've brushed across like what it is that you speak about. But can you go a little bit more into detail about what it is that I guess you've been speaking on? Yeah, let's start there, and then we'll kind of move into like where you're going, where you're heading, and what your ministry's looking like.
Yeah, so mainly my main topic, or at least what I'm best known for, would be defending church teaching on homosexuality, right? So it's been done several times. Like I know Father Mike Schmitz has a really popular Steubenville talk on it. I think Jason Everett is the same. Katie Hartfield, who's a good friend of mine, has done one as well at a Steubenville conference. But you know, Katie Hartfield's married, Jason Everett's married, Father Mike Schmitz is a priest. Like none of these people actually struggle with same-sex attraction. So when I started, it was kind of just me, you know, like there were a few people I think who were speaking openly like about it. But yeah, it was mostly just me.
Just quick distraction. Yeah, you're good.
Hi, Brittany. Oh.
Anyway. Yes.
Oh, you're getting pictures.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
I just didn't want to be seen.
Jump.
I love you. Yeah, so that was kind of how I got my start. And I think I was a speaker who was very different, who I think is a lot younger than a lot of other people, and is female and is African American too.
Yeah.
So like I ticked a lot of boxes that weren't being ticked at the time. And I think really still aren't. So it's been so glorious that God used, you know, the little down south Southern Belle black girl to, you know, for his glory in that way. Especially surrounding a topic that so many people are so quick to avoid, you know, or so many people are so scared of or so terrified of. And I would hope to bring a little bit of light and a little bit of joy and some clarity and some beauty to this particular topic in a way that wasn't scary, you know, that wasn't so easily just like looked down on or like shied away from. So I am branching out into other things, especially while I'm in school. I've become a big Tolkien and Lewis fan, so I was just like, ooh, I would love to like give some talks and stuff like that on Tolkien and on Lewis. And there's a whole bunch of different areas of interest that I have that I would love to eventually start speaking on. But that is what I'm most known for now and what I've been doing now. So again, I'm just getting back into booking talks and everything like that. So the 2022 season, I think, is going to be a big, like, nice return if I'm not in Rome for 6 months. So like depending on if I get my my Rome, if I am chosen to go to Rome for 6 months
and that's the spring of 20.
That'd be the spring of 2020.
So it could still be late, like
Yeah,
like fall
absolutely.
of
So in
2022.
2022, I am booking already for the fall. Like I have some gigs already for fall of 2022. So that's actually booking up quickly.
Anything big we can know about?
I don't. There's one conference I know. I forget where it is, but there's like a big youth conference that I'm speaking at. It's probably one of the biggest that I've spoken at. Just in the fact that it's like youth, and I think it's multiple like youth groups coming together. I think it's something that they do annually. But yeah, I think that one's coming up. That one I'm really excited about. And then like now I think I'm starting to do like parish missions and stuff like that. So I'll be in places like 1 to 2, like maybe like 2 to 3 days, which would be super, super exciting. So yeah, it's a season of a lot of rebirth, especially because I wasn't able to travel or do much of anything except virtually during the pandemic. So it's just been so fun, like getting back into it. And like this was a really kind of like spontaneous trip, and a lot of stuff happened that we weren't planning on.
Yeah.
But it was so good. Like one of my favorite parts of just ministry in general is just getting to know the people that I'm ministering to or with. Yeah. So this has been super fun. Like I literally feel like I have come away from this particular event, even though I didn't speak anywhere. I just came in for the podcast. I feel like I have like new friends, you know, which is like, it's so rejuvenating, and it's just so nice to like come away knowing more people and getting to experience Christ with more people. And your friend called and I got to talk to her.
I literally had like a few messages being like, Avera, is it a new podcast? And she was literally like, oh my gosh, like I heard, shout out Shelby.
Yeah, Shelby, so nice to meet you.
She was like, I heard her in the background. Do you think I could like talk to her?
Like nothing warms my heart more than that. Like I will, like I know a lot of people when like they like I love picking on Father Josh for this, but like he is a people person. Like everybody loves him, but like low key, he's so introverted that I would not be surprised if he just packed all of his stuff, threw it all out. Like just like threw it in the ocean or something, and then just like parked himself in a cave for the rest of his life.
Full hermit.
He would be completely content. Me, on the other hand, like there was one event that I did. It was a women's conference in San Antonio where I got done with my second talk of the day, and there was like a huge. We love how you just spilled all that water on yourself. There was a huge
for the
line.
people.
Like after I got done with my second talk, there was a huge line of people like waiting to talk to me, and I was living for it. I was like, I want to know all of your names. Tell me your backstory. Like, why are you here? What brought you out? Like, I'm trying to talk to any and everybody until I collapse. Like, I will go until I can't go anymore. And normally that takes a hot minute.
Yes, it does.
So, I love it. I love it so much. So
We love that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say, for me personally, I don't know if I'm quite to the same level as you are as far as like, because I do exhaust myself pretty quickly,
Yeah.
but I do have a strong desire of just getting to know people,
Yeah.
getting like sitting down with them. So
I'm
like,
a big extrovert though, so being around people gives me energy.
yeah,
You know, so it will take me a while to just like be exhausted, and even then like I want to collapse on the floor, but I still want people to be in the general vicinity, you know. Like I still want
Yeah.
people to be there. But yeah, I love just like the atmosphere of like, especially retreats and stuff like that, because people are just like, they're coming away to be with Christ.
Yes.
You know, so that's a different atmosphere, and normally people in those circumstances want to be there. So it's a whole different ball game when I like go into a youth group or something like that, and I could tell that the kids are only there because it's their required confirmation retreat, and like I could tell like that's a very different atmosphere. I also actually kind of prefer talking to adults. Normally because they like think of me as like a unicorn, like I'm so mysterious to them because like she's young,
Yeah.
you know, like, oh, she's black, she's a girl, like, oh my gosh, all this stuff, like
Yep.
they haven't seen this before, this is a phenomenon.
I like the word that she used.
So it's a very different atmosphere, because I think a lot of kids, they just come in and they're just like, who is she?
Yeah.
But I think they come away oftentimes with like, oh, that was actually kind of cool. But it takes them so long because high school kids have that very narrow no BS meter. Like you can't pull anything especially high school kids. Like, so that's the most nerve-wracking thing about it, because I know I have to break down that exterior. But for a lot of adults, that's a lot. Like, it doesn't take that much to get to the adults, I think. So,
Sure.
at least in the circumstances that I'm with them.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to some like my thoughts on like youth ministry. I feel like a lot of people, it's difficult, especially with high school kids, because it's like, in some ways you kind of have to like ease into topics and stuff, and like, but I do feel like a lot of people don't give these kids enough credit as far as what they can handle.
I agree.
It's like they can handle depth. They can handle heavy topics.
Yeah.
Like, they deal with this kind of stuff every day, so like, why sugarcoat it, you know? So that is good that we have, I guess, schools, youth programs and stuff that are pulling you in
For sure.
to give these kind of talks. But yeah, youth, there's a special place in my heart for youth ministers, because I stay in young adult ministry for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
But yeah, no, I love it. Do you have anything else you're kind of like working on, or?
I have a few things. Stuff is still kind of up in the air.
Yeah.
And certain things.
We're trying to get the exclusives.
Yeah,
here, so,
I feel like I'm not allowed to talk about, or else I'm gonna not wake up next week. Because I know one guy will be like, "Don't talk about it yet." But yeah, like, I think for me, it's just kind of like branching out and getting back into a lot of things that either I was interested in or I wanted to be interested in, but just never like dove very, very deeply into. One of my courses this semester is only 8 weeks. So after that course ends, I think I'm going to study to get my personal training certificate.
Okay.
So I was an athlete as a kid. So it was something that I did. I ran track for 12 years, played soccer off and on for several years, basketball for several years. So I was really athletic, and then just kind of after high school just fell off, gained 30 pounds. Like, it got to the point where, like, pre-COVID, I was maybe 175 pounds, and the doctor told me that I was pre-diabetic, and I had asthma as well. And a lot of people that if they had either diabetes or asthma, a lot of people with those pre-existing conditions were dying from COVID.
Yeah.
So it was the perfect storm of different things. So I was like, I'm really just not treating my body very well. And like, I could tell, like, I was having trouble sleeping, breathing, like walking upstairs, like I would get winded so easily, or just be like sick or just not feeling good all the time. And I was just like, you know what? Like, we are a body and soul union. And a friend of mine was like, we need our bodies in order to worship God, right? We need our bodies in order to worship. And I was like, okay, if I need my body in order to worship, I need my body to function well, and I need to treat my body well. So since the beginning of this year, I've lost, I think, 25 pounds. So I'm going to go for about 15 more. And then, like, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but I'm really fascinated by, there's a guy named Marcus Philly, I think, who's like a functional bodybuilder. So he used to be a CrossFit guy, and he just kind of like burnt out of CrossFit, but he still wanted to be like an athlete, right? So he started this thing called functional bodybuilding, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, could I be like, because I was always fascinated by like bodybuilders and whatnot, but I was like, I don't want to be like super, like, I don't want to look a certain way, and I don't want to do a whole excess of stuff. But I was like, okay, like, no, like his body type or like the women that he works with, I was like, yeah, I want to be functional,
Yeah.
like I want to be strong, but also like look really good and like just feel really good in my own skin and all this stuff. So getting into that and like being like an athlete again, but doing it for the glory of God now, like being able to glorify God in through my body is super fascinating to me right now. So I'm doing some stuff with that, and really thinking about like taking on personal training while I'm in school, and then being able to do it afterwards. And then just like a whole bunch of like writing projects and different things like that. Multiple people have been like, when are you going to write a book? And it was like, I wanted to for a long time, but just have like not felt like I had enough or the right things to say in the moment. So I think it'll definitely come. And then with a lot of things that I'm going through in this new season, it's like, yeah, I think that this could definitely help people if it was in written form and not just on Instagram, you know? So there's like a bunch of things just kind of like swirling. And also like I'm very, my personality is just like I have all these projects going on at once. And like I have new ideas like every other week. So, you know, which one will stick? Did I just at you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's a little kind of how I am.
How do you think this podcast was formed?
Started. But, you know, some of them stick. Some of
Maybe
them
this
stick.
is why we get along so well is because,
Yes,
like,
very much so.
I mean, because, like we were talking about this. I've also got this really, like, this idea for a fitness ministry. We talked about it on the podcast
Literally,
before.
when we said it, when we talked about it over Facebook Messenger, we were like, how crazy is it that the two things that we were working on were so similar?
Exactly.
And like can feed off of each other. We were like,
Exactly.
it has to be Holy Spirit led.
Absolutely. So yeah, maybe, who knows? Maybe one day
Who
we'll be
knows?
working
Who
on
knows, right? We're shoulder shrugging really hard right now. Like, do you see how my voice escalated? I'm up here now. So we'll see.
But yeah, because and that's what we were talking about the other day was like, you know, our bodies are not just like we say our body's a temple. Well, it's not just a temple for the Holy Spirit, but, you know, as Catholics we receive Christ, body, blood, soul, and divinity. And so in that way we are a tabernacle as well and should treat our bodies as such. We need to take care of them, you know, and that's not here to say that like there's some sort of standard of beauty that we have to adhere to, but just remember that your body's a gift and that we should take care of these gifts to strive for a healthy lifestyle, a good lifestyle, a fun lifestyle. You don't need to make yourself miserable, but to strive to be healthy because our bodies function the way they do with the intent to be functional and the intent to stay functional. You're not intended to sit for hours and hours, which I do at work all the time.
It's important to get up.
And stuff. Yeah. And of course it's important to rest too. But so that idea of like using our bodies to glorify God and to protect the gift that is our bodies.
Sure.
Anyway, there's got to be some stuff somewhere. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to table that for a while for now.
No, but on that same note, on the same vein, one of my favorite prayers, Vinny Flynn, I think, produced like a mass and adoration companion with his daughter, Erin, I think is her name. One of my favorite prayers out of that book is a little line from it is, let a host be lifted in me in places where otherwise no host comes.
Yeah.
Right? So if Christ is within me and is asking me to take them down this path or like take him up these stairs and I'm over here huffing and puffing at the bottom of them, like he's not getting where he wants to go, you know? So we have to be a vehicle that is able to carry Christ from place to place in places that he wants to go.
Yeah.
And our bodies are like, they help us get from point A to point B. And we are our bodies, you know, like I was saying this last night that, you know, when we go to a funeral, we see a funeral mass, and we see like the body laid out, everybody's like, that's not them, you know, because the body and the soul have been separated. So there's something so real and so human about being alive, right? But being alive body and soul, you know? So that's why, like, at the end of our time, like, at the end, when we have our resurrected bodies, like, it's body and soul, right? Like, we will have these beautiful resurrected bodies.
Yeah.
And it's so important to take care of the ones that we do have now, because even that, to say that we're not going to take care of ourselves is not an act of mercy, you know, like it's not true charity, you know, because just completely just say like, oh, I'm just not going to take care of myself, or to come from the right mindset of, oh, I'm just going to take care of everybody else, but I'll just put myself by the wayside. That's not true charity, or that's not true humility towards the self, because I think I said this on Instagram that self-love is a requirement of self-gift. So you can't give yourself as a gift if you don't love yourself enough to make yourself of a gift, you know? And to be able to give that gift of love to yourself. How are you going to expect anybody to give that to you, or you to be able to give that tangibly to anybody else? So that's kind of what I've been wrestling with as of late. Is like, what are the ways that I am not loving myself well? and living a really stagnant lifestyle, I think, was one of the bigger reasons. And I was like, I saw it manifest in my body. You know, spiritual realities manifest physically. And I could see, like, me being stagnant or me just, like, not taking care of myself manifesting in me being overweight and me having really bad eating habits.
Sure.
Of, like, all this stuff. It was manifesting very very physically. And now that I'm starting to work on myself in both areas, I'm amazed at how progress is happening for both, you know, or how, like, if I start taking care of one but start neglecting the other, how both are going to decline as well. So it's just, we're fascinating as human beings. Just like we're mystery. So.
Well, that is a great kind of segue into, I would say, our 4 p.m.s. Before we dive directly into 4 p.m.s, though, no, let's do 4 p.m.s first.
Yeah.
And then let's do 4 p.m.s first. Yeah, always smooth. I'm so good at this if you haven't been able to tell.
4 p.m.
Oh, yes. What are 4 p.m.s?
Yeah.
Zach, would you like to explain 4 p.m.?
4 p.m. moment. The scripture, it's John, chapter 1, I think like verse 35, 30. Somewhere in the 30s.
We're Catholic. We don't know the Bible.
Somewhere in the 30s.
Call us out.
But
I think we don't, but I mean, we read 2 readings of the gospel every day, every mass.
It was the time John was with Jesus and just remembered his interaction with Jesus so vividly. He recalled the time of the day. He said it was about 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just the little details in scripture are just like, it was just that vivid. So just recounting, I guess, an experience, an interaction, anything in your day that you just felt Christ kind of just reached out to you. You just
and usually 4 p.m. moments should be something that would be like something you look at daily. When pertaining to the podcast, we usually just go with like since the last time we've met up together. Yeah. So just within recent history, whatever is like a moment that you recognize God like really showing himself to you.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, let's do this. I'm excited.
Would you like to start, or would you like one of us to start?
Yeah, y'all go, so I can like contemplate that.
Shoot. Okay. Yeah. Went to confession yesterday, which is always fruitful, right? But at the same time, my penance was, a little bit different this time. It was just to read Psalm 51, which was basically, if I can remember 100%. I mean, it's like 20 to 30 verses, but is basically saying, like, forgive me, God, for my transgressions, and just going through this whole thought process of just trying to accept his grace. So that was, I don't know, that was really fruitful. I got to spend some time in prayer after that, just reflect over Psalm 51. So that was
that's awesome.
4 p.m.
Yeah, that's so good.
There you go.
Sure, I'll go.
Oh.
So mine was definitely mass today because, I mean, we had a men's Acts Retreat return mass at the 11 o'clock, which is the mass that we went to. And since we have had a really rough time here lately with the formation of the college Acts Retreat, it was just so great seeing all of these grown men. I mean, a lot of them were like in their late 30s, early 40s. There were like a few mixed in that were young adult guys. But, like, I've been in their shoes at a return mass, and, like, knowing that feeling of, like, how on fire you are for Jesus in that moment, like, there has not been one return mass that I've been to for an Acts Retreat where I haven't been sitting in the pew weeping because I just, like, I can see the glow on all their faces. And, like, I remember that feeling of, like, singing your song in front of the whole church, like seeing your friends and family that you've been away from for like 4 days, and you come back just this renewed person. And I remember like my Acts Retreat absolutely changed the course of my faith journey because that's when I decided I was going to go through RCIA to get confirmed. And so like I know how big an Acts Retreat can be, and like I literally just had a moment in mass today. It made me very excited because I mean college Acts is this week for us, and we're on team, and Zach is going as a retreatant, so it just made me even more on fire for, like, serving our retreatants.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
Yeah. So because that retreat is this upcoming weekend, we're actually recording this, like, a week earlier than we normally would. So my 4 p.m., is going to piggyback off the last one, where which we recorded 2 days ago at this point, or 3 days ago. It's Sunday, 3 days ago, somewhere around there. Some time ago that was recent.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned last time, I got in that wreck, and days are up and down, but I'm just like, as people are either finding out about it or just, asking how I'm doing, it's just a reminder that just like how beautiful life is, how much of a gift it is. And then to kind of jump back on the wagon that Brittany was on, and this whole Acts Retreat thing that we're talking about, it's been 2 years since, I guess it's 2 years now, since a retreat, that I've been on or been a part of. And I'm on team, but like, team is always kind of a completion of the process of going through the retreat. And I'm just at a point right now where it's just like, I so desperately need that retreat, and to see how much, not to get all spiritual warfare on all y'all, but like, see how much, like the enemy is just like trying to to cause issues. And then life just getting in the way, but then like seeing God prevail every time. And it's just like, regardless of what's going to happen, like his goodness, his glory will like remain. It'll remain true. It will prevail, and his kingdom will spread as it always has. And so like, I don't know, I'm just really kind of just in this state of like just thankfulness and like joy, because I'm just constantly being reminded of not just his mercy and his love, but his desire to bring others into the fold, to bring others in. And so seeing those men sing their theme song, and these men who, like, some of them I knew are just like, those are like your manly men, like manly men, like not very vulnerable people, kind of probably wouldn't normally like show that much emotion, and yet they opened up, and to have the humility to sing a song and sing it loud in front of
the whole church.
Yes, which, like, say what you will about like the way whatever, but like there's a beauty in that, and a humility and a joy that was spoken through that. And I don't know, I just like, it's reminding me that like trusting in him is always the move. Like, just to put it simply, it's always the move.
No cap.
Yep. All facts, no printer, right?
Yeah.
Right, Zach? It's like one of Zach's sayings.
FAX.
FAX.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, Avera, your 4 p.m.
Man, okay, my 4 p.m. So, like, honestly, I hope this isn't like too cheesy.
We love cheesy.
But honestly, like, it is seeing the two of you, Blake and Brittany, interact with each other. Like, it's really, that is what it is. And I'll say this. I have, and whether this has contributed to my experience of same-sex attraction or not, I don't know. But I would be willing to bet that a lot of the traumas that I've experienced in my life have been caused by bad relationships with men, for whatever reason. And I think that one of the things that has been really healing for me has been being in relationship to guys who are in relationships, right? Who are dating other people. So I'm not looking at him to rescue me, right? Because he has a girlfriend, right? If for no other reason than that. But what has been so profoundly healing, I'm thinking specifically about my roommate and her fiance, Trey, who's like, Catherine and Trey are two of the most incredible people I've met in my life. And the fact that they're both younger than me, they're 22 and 21, which is ridiculous. But so seeing the way that not only Blake has treated me, but also treated you, was just like, it's so beautiful. It's so simple, but it's so healing too, of just like, there are men out there that aren't out to get me, or either aren't out to get something from me, or are not out to, like, I know that Blake and probably you as well, Brittany, are going to like either call or like text or like just check in on me even after I leave here.
Yeah.
You know, like y'all have genuinely become my friends. You know, and I know that there's no ill intent. Like I know that you're not just trying. Like I don't want to say like clout chasing because I'm not that famous. But but like at the same time, it's like you know, like that's something that I think can. The more that I do what I do, the more that that's going to be an issue, or at least it's going to be a question in the back of my mind. Is like, why is this person interacting with me? You know, like, what does this person want? And I feel like when you've experienced the kind of things that I have, that's a question. Is like, what do they want, or what are they trying to do to me? And ultimately, the answer to that, when I've been here the past 2 days, is they just want to love me. You know, like they want to be friends with me, like they want to encounter Christ with and within me.
Yeah.
And that's just been so good to just be here and just like rest in that and find peace in that. And yeah, like I've really experienced a lot of Christ just being here ever since I came in yesterday, and probably even well before that. But yeah, it's been so good to an area of my life it's just caused a lot of tension is like dating, and just to see other people doing it well not only gives me hope for the future, but just makes me happy in the now. That if I can't experience it myself, I get to see it in other people. You know, and that's just, it's beautiful. So I've just really appreciated I really appreciated seeing both of you interact. Both
We're
with each
pretty
other
entertaining.
And with me. Y'all are. Y'all are so
entertaining.
funny too. Like Brittany is literally one of the funniest people I've ever met, and I love listening to you sing.
Thank
even
you.
Though, like,
It's not good.
It's rough. It is. It's rough around the edges.
We haven't even sang this episode yet. We haven't even sang this episode.
It compensates because last episode there was a lot.
So you're also like experiencing one of my like flaws, which is I have a hard time accepting compliments. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
But yes, no, that was very sweet. I'm glad you've enjoyed your time here.
Absolutely.
We've loved having you. We're gonna love having you here again at some point.
Absolutely.
We're gonna love visiting because you have no choice.
Oh, absolutely. Come. Please come. Come on.
We have another visitor.
There's literally another bee.
There's a bee in here.
We've killed 3 bees so far. 3.
We don't like killing bees.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
The door is locked and it is sealed right now.
Yeah.
We cannot let him out.
It brings me very like.
It's sad vibes.
It's very sad whenever.
Sad vibes everywhere.
But also, they get really stressed when they can't get out, and
they start stinging people.
Long story
And
short,
I've
we're
gone
just putting
25
him out of his
years,
misery.
almost 25 years without being stung by a bee, and I do not want to start today.
Yes.
So.
But so that one's gonna be fine for now. It's staying away from us. It likes those lights. Yes. So we've loved having you, Zach. Do you have any final thoughts before we go into prayer?
Well, I guess, yeah.
I guess.
He said no. Well, I guess.
well, maybe.
I mean, for sure, we should definitely, link up in the future. Avera, you were an absolute light.
Thank you.
You literally just radiate joy. I just have to say that. I don't know. I just feel like this is not like just 24 hours that we've known each other.
Yeah.
So.
Sure.
We
need to play Ultimate one day. So.
We're definitely linking up.
It's down now.
I love when he
here's
does
the
that thing.
Are you a handler though?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm definitely like one of the ones that just kind of hovers
There we go.
around.
There we go.
So yeah. So I'm out there.
Yeah.
So.
Fine.
I'll be keeping. I don't know. I won't keep score because I don't number, but like I'll keep I'll be on the sidelines. Like
She said,
She'll
"I
take
don't number."
pictures.
yeah, I'll take pictures. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's awesome. No, and speaking of which, we were talking about. Shout out Bishop Tubes.
Yes.
We were talking about just people who radiate like holiness and how you can just feel it, like know when you're around somebody like that person's holy, and like spending this time with you, like you were also one of those people that like 100%. I'm gonna gas you up right now. But no,
I'm not gonna cry. I'm a thug. I'm gonna cry.
You're right. You're right. But no,
She said I'm a thug.
No, I'm not.
no.
My sister would like flip tables in here if she heard me say that.
That
No,
was good.
that was great. But yes, you do.
Praise God.
Yes, you're wonderful. We've loved having you. Before we go into prayer, is there any like prayer intentions that you don't mind saying in front of the people or whatever? If you don't want to share that much, whatever, just like, just unspoken prayer requests, that's fine. But we're about to go into a moment of prayer. The way we like to do this, I don't always do this correctly, but like what I usually do is I'll lead in prayer, and then after I'm kind of done, I'll kind of pause. And if you would like to jump in and add to it, you're welcome to. Zach as well, Brittany as well, whatever. You don't feel pressured to, though. If you don't have to, if you don't have anything to add, I'll just pause for a moment, and then after a few seconds, if no one says anything, we'll close.
All right. Prayer intention. I know I think I mentioned in passing earlier that there was like a hate page started on Reddit about me. I really want to be intentional with carrying every single person that commented or liked something or did something like that. I really want to take a moment to lift them up in prayer because no one speaks that much hate unless they're really wounded. Sister Miriam James said wounds that aren't transformed or transmitted. And that was the only reason that they were so hateful towards me, is because they themselves are really wounded. And I want to really be intentional with not only my own prayers for them, but inviting others to not like combat them because y'all are my friends, but stand with me in prayer for each and every one of them. So.
Okay, yeah. What about you, Zach?
I mean, just really all those, recently diagnosed with COVID, have family members that are obviously struggling in hospitals. Obviously, that's spiking currently. So that's, just for people to look to Jesus in that time and not to a short-term solution or short-term outlet.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Brittany?
Moi?
Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm on like an axe kick, and I just won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
But no. So like we just had a very beloved priest in our diocese pass away, Father Manger, and he was over the whole axe community.
Yeah.
And we have already had intercessory prayers answered from some of people who have prayed for his soul and prayed for his intercession. And he's already at work, so like we are like 99% sure this man is in heaven.
Yeah.
And especially because we've had a lot of issues with Acts formation lately. For him to already like answer prayers for us, like we know that God has this and that Father Manger is supporting us from heaven. So I think just prayers for our diocese, the Beaumont diocese, that we have more people discern priesthood and religious life, because our diocese is in great need. We have another priest that just died today who was on hospice, and I feel like there are a lot of young men and women that have that call to religious life and priesthood that are just too scared, or they would feel like they were different and like it wasn't like mainstream to do. So like that's why they don't want to answer that call. But my prayer is that they take that call and run with it, because it is such a greatly needed thing for our area in particular.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let's get started. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen.
Veni Sancti Spiritus. Lord Jesus, we come to you just so thankful for another day, air in our lungs, and another day to just glorify you, Lord. Thank you for the gift that is you, that is your life, and the life you've given us, Lord. I would like to pray for the special intentions of Avera, that those with wounds of any kind, that they receive that kind of healing from you, and just remember that your mercy and your love trumps all fear, pain, anxiety. I just pray that you just remind people that she and all these other people that they may not agree with, in some way, shape, or form, are desiring you or pursuing you, Lord. So just lift them up, heal them, Lord. I also want to pray for Zach's intention, which is those struggling with COVID right now. Just for that healing, Lord, and the peace of mind. That there's a lot of fear, and in some ways rightly so. But I just pray that we trust in you, and do what's smart, but follow the guidance that you put on our heart, Lord. And then Brittany's intention, that is Acts, and the repose of the soul of Father Manger and the other priest, which I'm not sure who it is that had passed away, Lord. But I just pray that you lift them up, guide their family, protect their family, heal their wounds, heal their brokenness, and continue to guide Acts in a way that's fruitful towards your mission, Lord. I just want to sit here and reflect on your love and mercy, Lord, because that's something I've been struggling with you. But I'm starting to realize it. I just pray that you continue to lift us up and remind us just how wonderful you are. So that on those dark days where I forget, you just continue to remind me every day. Jesus, you are good and we are yours. It's your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Saint Joan of Arc.
Pray for us. Say.
Hey. This has been a very fun episode.
It has been.
It's been a very fun weekend.
It has. And low key, it might not end until tomorrow because it's kind of late.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of late. Thank you, power outage.
Right.
It's okay,
Don't
energy.
thank the devil. You heretic.
I didn't thank the devil. I thanked the power outage.
And where did the power outage come from?
Energy.
The devil.
Energy.
People always try to stop good work for the Lord.
I would like to make the argument that a lot of good has come from this power outage.
Indeed.
I don't know. It could go both ways.
God,
It was just very inconvenient.
Yeah.
God takes all things and makes them new, makes them better, makes them holy.
Why do you have to put me on blast like that? I mean, you're right, but like...
All right. We love having y'all here. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, download more episodes, share them with your friends. Be our friend. Follow us on Instagram. It's at the 31 Podcast. On Facebook, the same thing. Our logo's right there. So if I said the wrong look for that logo. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else we're supposed to say. Check out. Thank you again to our partners, our sponsors, whatever. Corda, Hallow, you're awesome. We love you. Shout out to y'all.
Thank you to the bees that have made their wonderful appearance today.
Exactly.
I mean, we really have great fans.
Y'all are the bee's knees.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bad.
What a dad joke. What a dad joke.
This episode is severely missing dad jokes. So here we are.
It's finally, his personality is finally here.
Haha. So anyway, what do you think? Zach, you want to close us out with our famous PTL?
PTL.
PTL.
PTO.
Praise the Lord, people. Peace.